I wanted to talk about a slightly disturbing trend in black humour that, if I'm honest, I'm starting to get a little bit of fatigue about. But before I get into that, it's worth remembering that it is basically illegal in the Western world. Very much so if you live in America. Very, very much so if you live in America in a blue state. Although actually probably applies to most of them at this point because it's actually a judge issue and not a state issue. It's basically illegal to defend yourself if you are in the unfortunate position of being white. The example that I would give you, and this is one example, you can find hundreds of examples like these. You could probably think of a dozen off the top of your head while I'm talking about it. Is this particular one? So, this poor gentleman here. He's been spending a long time in prison. Why was he spending a long time in prison? Well, basically, the situation was a black man decided to hit upon his girlfriend in a bar, and she told him, "No, I'm not interested." He didn't like that. He followed her outside. At which point, the fiance says, "Sorry, would you leave us alone, please? She's not interested." He responds with, "Fuck you, white guy," and attacks him, hitting him twice in the head, resulting in a traumatic brain injury. But the chap didn't go down from that. And bear in mind, this is in Oregon, where there is no duty to retreat. He didn't run off and leave his girlfriend to the man who wanted to take her. He defended himself and he shot the man who was attacking him, causing him a brain injury and trying to abscond with his girlfriend. Now, of course, the lawyer, the judge, decided that defending yourself whilst white was an offence, so she withheld from the jury that he had no obligation to run off and leave his girlfriend there. And so they convicted him. I don't know what the jury looks like. I suppose we can guess. You would not be surprised to learn that this is what the judge looks like. It is, as ever, a liberal woman judge. Now, like I said, you've probably seen dozens and dozens of examples of cases exactly like this, where it is basically illegal to defend yourself if white. And what does that do? Does that filter through? Do we notice? I mean, I'm pretty sure that we all know that this is indeed the case. But it also filters through to the level of black humour. So here we go. Here's a lovely video of a man who has decided he's going to go to a particularly busy train station. Now, the normal convention here, this might be in the US, it could be in the UK, but the normal convention is that you stand on one side if you're standing there, and people can pass on the other side. But no, he's just going to block it, and he's going to make sure that nobody can get past. He's taking as wide a stance as he can. He's holding his arms out. He's a bigger guy. He's hit the gym, and so when people try and get past, no, he's just going to stop them. He's just going to stop them. I mean, I wonder what would happen to even a large white man who did this in a black area. I mean, they would grab his hoodie from behind and they'd hurl him down the stairs. I don't doubt. But he knows something, doesn't he? He knows that violence is only going to go one way. Somebody could kick him in the back of the knees and force him to crumple. They could grab his hoodie and they can pull him down. But then he would attack that individual. He would assault them, and then he would face no consequences for his actions. There was basically nothing that you can do in this scenario apart from you have to put up with it, because he can attack you, but you cannot attack him. So isn't that funny? Isn't that hilarious? There were dozens of these type of videos. I first became aware of it a while ago with another video that I actually found. This one, it's from a whole week ago. And I remember seeing it and I was thinking, yes, that's not on. And when I tried to come back to it today, I searched in Twitter for Black Man Steals Food, and it took me ages to scroll through until I was able to re-find this video. But again, same format. Even larger black man in this case. He's clearly been hitting the roids as well as the gym, and he's just going around, going up to that family, that white family there. He's taking food off their table and just walking away with it. Terrific, Terrific black humour, wonderful. And you should see the comments beneath these videos, by the way, as well. Black Twitter thinks this is absolutely wonderful, hilarious, brilliant stuff. And it's putting the guys in a situation. They know that he can be violent and get away with it, and they can't. Do they want to watch their kids watch their dad, get a brain injury or be beaten to death on the floor, or do they just want to let it go? What can they do? Oh, they're stealing food from an old woman's plate there. I mean, yes, why not? Absolutely hilarious stuff. But it's because they know something, isn't it? It's because they know that we have liberal women judges. They know how the system is set up. They're daring you to do something because then they get to attack you and get away with it. Those two examples might have been US based. This one is a UK based one. This was Mizzy, who tried to make a name for himself a while ago. Oh, let's get that sound off. Now, in this case, he's not a large black man. He is a small and skinny black man, so he can't get away with going up to men's tables and stealing their food in front of them, or stealing old ladies' food when there are men present. The way he has to do it is he goes up to these teenage girls wearing a large puffy jacket, stroking their hair and asking them, "Do you want to die?" With his hand in his pocket in that large puffy jacket, where he is inviting them to believe that he's got a knife and he's going to stab them in the neck if they put up any objection to him coming over there and touching them. So, and this apparently was very funny. I can remember at the time when we were covering it, I remember reading the responses beneath his videos, and again, the Black Twitter just thought, this is absolutely hilarious. How wonderful this particular branch of humour is. Just terrific fun. Personally, I don't know what you feel about it. My fatigue levels are rising to this type of stuff. A certain segment of Western population has realised that the rules apply very differently to them to the way they apply to the majority, or at least what is currently the majority. They're doing something about that as well. And they're having enormous fun exploiting that difference. Sometimes it's because they try and steal your girlfriend, and if you defend yourselves, you will go to jail. But most of the time, it's just a little bit of light-hearted antisocial behaviour banter that really works for certain content providers. I just have one thought on this, and that is, if you find violence funny, just bear in mind who the masters of it are. I'm not saying anything in particular. I'm just thinking of, say, for example, the Roman Empire, the Dutch Empire, the British Empire, or if you like to get really up to date, the American Empire. I would just say that liberal women judges are not going to be there forever. So think, do you want to be a useful and productive part of society? Do you want to be positioning yourself where we can all get on? Or do you really want to exploit this difference in violence, the way that it is treated in courts? Do you really think that liberal women judges are going to be tolerated forever? Because fatigue is really starting to build.